Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our discussion on the IAS PCS Wala daily current affairs. Under that, we will discuss the major topic that has been enumerated here. Let's see, these are the topic that we are going to discuss one by one. We will start with the India European Free Trade Association. There is the negotiation that is going between the two bodies, India and European Free Trade Association, and this is for the free trade agreement between India and EU. This is for the long pending deal that is going on. I think it is going on for the last, I think it is going for the last 14, 15 years. It is started in 2008-9. So still it is going on. Okay. The main issue is with respect to the, we will discuss that it is the patent law, and yes, the visa and accessibility to the European market. Such thing is there. Then we will study the Supreme Court refuses to take the stay the law on the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner appointment, because recently we saw the law exclude the Chief Justice of India. That's why there is the case. So it pertains to the GS paper 2 prelims as well as for the mains. This is for the mains. Then we will study this observation of the Supreme Court cooperative federalism as it has been observed between the tussle that is going in between the Kerala and the union government. We will see that what is that. So whenever there is the question for the cooperative federalism, you can use this point. Okay. There is also issue with respect to the governors and president's speech, particularly on the each of the first session on each years by this president and governor as the customary address. So we will see that what was the view of the Venkat Raman, our president. Then we will study about the stem cell, what is this, and after that we will study the role of chromosome into autoimmune disease. We will study in a very short manner. Okay, so this will under the science and technology section. Further, we will study this scientific, how there should be the scientific community should know the ground roots and the ground reality of the common man, so that they can bring the solution, and what is the need to bring this scientific research in a holistic manner. You can use it into the essay paper, very important. After that, we will study the diplomacy between the India and Qatar that was going on with respect to the release of this naval officers. It will be under GS paper 2 international relation. After that, on the same page, editorial page, we will study the India UAE relation. Further, we have it will be like the recap of the yesterday discussion. So again, with the mains perspective, perspective. After that, we will study this what is need for the employment generation, industrialization, and the perspective on this. This will come under the GS paper 3 economy. And after that, in the last, we will study the Tamil Nadu government. There has been the notification and how it is going to violate the right of the these tribal people living in the forest. So GS paper 2 vulnerable section under the governance. So this will be all about for the today discussion. Let's start one by one. On the first page, the main news is with respect to the protest that is going on near the capital by the farmers. There has been the many classes between these farmers and the these law authority. So this is the one of the scene where law authority, this security forces trying to control the farmers and their procession toward the Delhi. So this will, nothing is important in this, just you should know that it is the Samyukt Kisan Morcha, non-political, that is leading this protest, and also there is the outside support from the Samyukt Kisan Morcha and the Kisan Majdoor Morcha, but they have not directly joined this, but they are supporting. Okay. Then we will study, this is very important with respect to the India-EU relation, the dealing that is going on between the India and European Free Trade Association. Okay, so this is already going on, the main thing from the Indian side. We are low into the patent and the research, and that's why we are we are reliable on this European and this North American countries, also on the Australia and New Zealand. So we saw that there the negotiation was going on that with respect to this compulsory licensing clause that is provided under the WTO, and under that, what generally happens whenever you research on something, you invent something, and after that you will have the right to manufacture medicine or anything on that invention, and you will get the patent for the 20 years. 20 years no one can sell on the that invention. So this is particularly with respect to the medicine. Whenever the medicines are there, there is the huge social casualty when the medicines are not on the reasonable price. Europeans, they spend a lot of in the research, and that's why their price are very high. There was the example that for the medicines of the cancer and other such disease, that is the life-threatening disease, their per month dose is in the lakhs, and normal average monthly income of people of India is around 7-8 thousand. So that's why it's become very costly. That's why the compulsory licensing is provided, that the copy of the same formula of that medicine is being done by the Indian company, and it is sold on a sell on the cheaper price. So that's why this compulsory licensing, this could be get the tweak by this dealing that is going on. As per this dealing, the within the 6 months of this agreement, the signatory should include the specific duration. In 6 months, they have to stop undisclosed test data to gain market and approval at least for the 6 year. So signatory here refers to the countries and applicants for the pharmaceutical industries. Okay, so undisclosed data in this case is of the drug efficacy and the impact on the people. So means even if you are going for the copycat of that invented and this intellectual IPR medicine, you have to wait for the some years. So this will be impacting the Indian pharmaceutical industry, because Indian pharmaceutical industry is not providing for the Indian people, but it's providing the cheap medicine for the African as well as North American people, means developing world, and its pharmaceutical industry has the turnover of the 3.4 lakh crore per annum. Okay, there is the 60,000 generic drug across the 60 therapeutic category that is being produced by this Indian pharmaceutical company. So this will get impacted, and that's why it is cause of concern. So please remember all these things. Okay. Next important news. This is the interesting news. There was the theft of the award of this director, and after that the thief felt that yes, this is this I should not do that, because it is from his hard work that he has got this film award, and he returned that. So nothing is just an interesting case. So you should know that this is the director. The name of director is the Manikandan, and yes, his movie got Kadaisi Vivasai, that the best won the best feature film in the Tamil. Beside that, his another film Kaka Muttai has won the best children film in the 22nd National Film Award 2015. So this was the award that was being stolen. Yes, the thief was that much ethical that he returned the award, but he didn't return the cash. He stolen 1 lakh rupees and 5 sovereign of the gold. Okay. So next important news that we will take. Yes, this is political, not. Yes, you should know where is the Kasar go. Just you should know. Otherwise, nothing is important, that much important. So let me locate it into the map. It is in the Kerala, and it is very close to the Kannur. It is here. So yes, Mangaluru is here and Kannur is here. It is between the Mangaluru and Kannur. Okay, Mangaluru is in the Karnataka. So you should remember this. This is here. Next important news is with respect to this mosque named at the This tomb, this is the tomb of the founder of the Hyderabad. His name was the Muhammad Kuali Qutub Shah, and the name of the tomb is the same. So we have used this digital technology, reality technology, and we have produced this replica of the same so that it could promote the tourism. So just you should know that who is the founder of this Hyderabad. He is the Muhammad Kuali Qutub Shah, and he belonged from the Qutub Shahi dynasty of the Golconda kingdom. Please remember that. This is important with respect to the historical factual perspective. Okay. Next important news, you must be knowing this news is continuously going the tussle between the Kerala government and union government. Kerala government is talking about that union government is not releasing the money funds for the Kerala government, and union government is telling that Kerala government is not able to handle its physical deficit. It has so many. It is lacking the proper management of its public finance. In that, the reply of the Kerala government is that you are central government constitute for the 60% of the total debt, and only including all the state government, it is just 40%. So you are not able to managing, and you are pointing finger towards us. This is all about you should know, but they are agree to talk to each other to reach a common ground, and that's why Supreme Court has mentioned this gesture as the cooperative federalism, where the states and the center cooperate with each other. So one of the example you can quote here whenever you are writing this answer. You should know that there is the appointment law that was made by the central government. As per this law, instead of previously, as we the cases are going in the Supreme Court, that the manner Chief Election Commission is appointed is not that much transparent, and it is always biased and partisan. People, the party in the power bring those choose those officers, bureaucrats as the Chief Election Commissioner who are thinking as the aligned with their ideology. So that's why Supreme Court in one of the judgments brought that a committee should select this Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commissioner, and in this committee one of the members will be the Chief Justice of India. But that Chief Justice of India in the laws made by the center has been replaced by the one of the union minister that is appointed by the Prime Minister. So this has been deviation, and that's why it was in the Supreme Court that please this law is violating the order given by the Supreme Court. So it will be further, there will be the final hearing. The final hearing has it not been taken. So yes, this is about this, you should know. Next important news is with respect to this customary address that is always done at the first session, means of the every year, and it is start with the address, the speech of the governor at the state level and the president at the central level. So generally this statement, this address is written based on the state government and the central government. So many of the governor and the president not agree with that, because they don't have the same time of the thinking or the perspective with respect to whatever written in the address. So this is there has been the opposition from our previous former President Venkat Raman, and in his book, the My Presidential Year, that was published in 1994, he mentioned that he was not to agree with this type of thing, because this was the colonial era mindset, and this was just to show the submissiveness of colonial people with respect to that. So here he recommended the Prime Minister at the time of his tenure, Rajiv Gandhi, that please amend the constitution and yes, eliminate this customary address. So yes, so this has again in the public domain due to the Tamil Nadu governor N.R. Ravi. He refused to complete the address, and he left the assembly in between. So this has been in the news. You should know that. You can quote this the statement from the Venkat Raman. Next important news is with respect to India UAE relations. Our Prime Minister is in the UAE. You should know that in 2015 our Prime Minister visited the UAE. It was the a visit after the gap of 30 years. Okay, so you should remember. And you should also remember he was given the highest award of the UAE Civilian Award, that is the Order of Jayed in 2019. Please remember. Next important thing is with respect to the national award. The name of national award has been a bit changed. The committee that was formed to review this name was the Committee for the Rationalization of the Film Award. Now the Indira Gandhi Award for the Best Debut Film has been renamed as the Best Review Film of a Director. So we have cut this name. Besides that, the Nargis Datta Award for the Best Feature Film on the National Integration was now has been clubbed with the other name, like the Best Film on the Social Issue and the Best Film on the Environmental Concern. This has been clubbed and made it to the Best Feature Film on Best Feature Film promoting national, social and environmental values. Okay, so you should know the major change has been this. Community radio, you should know that this community radio, there has been the change in the guideline. Now there has been provided with the more liberty that yes, it has increased the advertisement time from the 7 minute to the 12 minute. Beside that, it has also given the increase in the rate of the advertisement from the 52 rupees per 10 second to the 74 rupees per 10 second. So this community radio is important to make awareness or the bring the social issue to the means at the district level or the block level. So this is important. This is important in respect to the devolution of power as well. The next important news that is with respect to this science and technology, we have find this stem cell. So you know the stem cell? They are the very important because they are useful into the making other cells. Like there are different type of cell here given, the liver cell, neuron, skin cells. All these cells can be made from the stem cells. Stem cells. So that's become the important. And yes, you don't have to go into the detail, just you should know the basic about the stem cell. Okay, you don't have to go into the that much detail, that is more than sufficient. Then you should know about this role of X chromosome in the autoimmune disease. So what is the autoimmune disease? This autoimmune disease is a condition where the where that results from a anomalous response of the adaptive immune system. Okay, and by this mistakenly targets and attack the healthy and functioning part of the body. So it's creates so many conditions. There are a lot of disease, and the main specific thing about this is that it is found more into the women as compared to the male. Uh, so why it is that because of the two extra means, so there is the, you must be knowing that the female has the two X chromosomes, and the male have the one X and one Y chromosomes. Okay, so due to two X chromosomes, one of this is coated, and it is known as the X chromosome inactivation. Okay, because by the quotation we can reduce the activity of one, and only one X chromosome that will remain the active and function in the all the cell of the body, while the other is muffled. Okay, so this is not successful in all. In the sum of the genes, this is exposed, and by that this autoimmune disease is being caused. So just you should know about this thing. Next important news that we will going to take is from the editorial, and it is with respect to the what is the how the scientist and scientific knowledge should be used for the welfare of the society, and what is the scientist and scientific institution they need to be aware of. That they should know that there is the multidisciplinary perspective they should adopt, and beside that they should not confine to their lab and other thing. They should be well aware of the the things that is going on the ground, because here it has given that if the human need to be solved by the science, science need to be subservient to the human. So whenever you are talking about that science should always come to the solve the solution, solve the problem of the human. So here it has mentioned that yes, science and those who are involved in the scientific discovery, they should be have the they must have been aware of the different the connection between the problem and discipline, okay, the problem and the theories, the problem and between the problems and accumulated knowledge, okay. And here they need to know diverse area even at the humanity level. For example, the diverse language, vocabularies, word views and value system, they should have been well aware, because they will know only they will have the broadest perspective of the knowledge, and that's why they can solve this, okay. Here it has mentioned that it is the very different thing is that this knowledge has always been confined and yes, captured by the powerful, those who are in the power. So this is very tough to give this knowledge and information freely available in the society. So yes, because this always pose threat to the powerful who are in the power corridor, okay. Here it has given that generally, if you are talking about the giant gravity hole into the Indian Ocean, so this will have the more interest and more curiosity from the scientific community. Okay, so here the local issues such as the Velandur Lake that is in the Bangalore, that is facing the issue of the recurring froth. Let me show what is the froth. It is the a very high level of, see that this is the foam that is the due to the chemical pollution, and this is the creating a issue into the whole city and the water supply system of the city. So this has mentioned that yes, such type of the problem where the people really facing the issue, this should be given the priority as compared to the those who have the eye-catching type of the thing. Okay. For example, here it has given, yes, we are talking about no, where there is the brandishing the Senegal in one hand and sword in the other hand, because here it is talking about the information and knowledge. They if it is being free and that is available to the public, this always put the threat to the powerful, because powerful always try to make the walk situation among the people, okay. So here it has mentioned, beside that it is mentioning that yes, those who are in the scientific area and they are making the decision, they should have the proper information knowledge about the different areas, like the they all accumulately, they all in the concerted effort, they bring the a whole picture. You cannot treat, you cannot know the whole system with just knowing about the part. Yes, in some cases by the knowing about the part you can give solution of the whole, but in the many cases if you want to give solution for the issue of the whole issue, whole body, then you should know the whole body, and wherever there is the knowledge, it had a perspective of the philosophy, religious studies, history, literature study, everything, okay. These all provide tool for the analysis and mode of discussion and debating the moral and ethical question. For example, here it has given that the philosophy you could have it. It can be used by the fruitful with the business and the medicine on the issue of the ethics and the reproductive technology, as well as with the social scientists who are interested in the rational choice theory. Okay, a wide variety of the phenomena such as the debate on the abortion or the euthanasia, human rights, human cloning, human STEM research, terrorism, all this have the religious component. So if you want to know, you have to better study of the religious studies as well. Okay. So here it is, in the last it is questioning that yes, our scientists are ready to accept all this in, they want to recognize the ability of the common citizens to become the both critic and co-creator of the knowledge, because lot of things if you don't know on the ground reality, you cannot give a proper solution. Okay. So will our scientific institution have the linkage with the external community to foster a multi-directional knowledge flow. Okay, so this is all about, this is talking about that this you can use into the, whenever you are going to write a essay, philosophical essay, you can use that how the knowledge and scientific knowledge should not be the confined to the a particular area. It should be, if scientists are there, there should be the interaction with the common people so that they can know the what are the issues the common people are facing. Same times the common, they should take the feedback and other information from the common people going on the ground, and giving the it is important to go and source for the different universal thing, but before that you also to bring the solution of that the common people are facing. This is all about, this article is talking about all this thing. Next important news is again from this this is from the GS paper 2, and this is related to internal security, India-Qatar relations. So recently we saw that there are the 8 naval officers. They were on the death row. After that, there was the intervention from the Indian government. There was the death was relaxed, and the conviction was still there. But yes, after the consistent discussion with the official of the Indian government and the Qatari side, they were released. So it shows that yes, there was the consistency in the diplomacy. This type of diplomacy gives the good result. This same case was there with respect to the Kulbhushan case in the Pakistan. We didn't able to solve in such a manner. Yes, the thing is that Pakistan was involved there, but here there was no tug of war or the something that is going in the out and outside the internal bilateral mechanism. In the Kulbhushan case, we reached to the International Court of Justice, and that created a complication into the case. Okay, so here it has mentioned that yes, the Kulbhushan Jadhav case was there, as well as recently we saw that Nijjar assassination case here, and again with the Canada, we didn't able to do the diplomacy, and there was lot of hue and cry on that. Okay, here it has mentioned that what is the relationship, how the Qatar is important for India and how India is important for the Qatar. Okay, so you should know that this strategies that we employed to pursue in the court, we respected the legal system of the Qatar. That gives a positive message to them. Okay, we avoided the escalatory rhetoric and the public sparring to take the case highest level, and even we involved the Prime Minister of India and yes, the head of the Qatari army, that is the Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. Okay. So this shows the importance of the quiet diplomacy. Why Qatar is important? Because it is the West Asian power, and this can create that can play an important role in the interlocutor of the West and the Hamas. Okay. For the Qatar, the ties with India is historic and dependable, because recently we saw, despite the Qatar was boycotted for the Gulf countries, the relation with India was always on the smooth line. Beside that, here it has mentioned that Qatar supplies India. And yes, we have this natural gas, and we have now reached the 78 billion LNG deal. Okay, so we have seen that there has been the consistently the remittance from the 8 lakh of the Indians, those living into the Qatar. Okay, so this is also important as with respect to the remittance that is sent by our NRIs, those who are working in this country. Next important news is again that is relation between the India and UAE. Already we have seen that so many things in the previous session. So again, there is something that is more concrete, like here it has mentioned that yes, recently we saw that how the relationship was going on its climax. We saw that in the COP28 meeting, our Prime Minister was invited, and he was provided with the special visiting dignitary to address the ceremonial opening session. Okay, and beside that, we also invited Sheikh Mohammed as is India's special invitee into the G20 summit when India's presidency was there, and we also invited him for the Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit chief guest. Okay. What is the importance? Recently we saw that yes, Prime Minister was there for the inauguration of the Hindu temple. Okay, and why? Because there is the near about 3.5 million, means 35 lakh of the Indians residing there. And yes, we saw that Alhan Modi is means that the welcome Modi, and it was in the Jayed Sports City Stadium in the Abu Dhabi. Please remember this Alhad Modi, they can ask, is related with the India's and the UAE relationship, and this was held into the Jayed Sports City Stadium, because this is associated with the name of the president from his family line. Okay, so you can remember this. Besides that, we saw that our Prime Minister addressed as the guest of honor at the 11th World Government Summit in Dubai, and also we saw that yes, this Bharat Mart that is going to be concluded between India and UAE. It will provide the Indian products to be a destination, and yes, it will give the exposure of the Indian products for the Central Asian countries and other countries like the other West Asian countries like the Iran, Saudi Arabia. Okay, so this Bharat Mart, that is the, it will provide the export of the Indian MSMEs, and it will provide them to bring their retail warehousing and logistic facility there. And yes, this DP World will build around 800 showrooms and 18 warehouse over the next 24 months. And yes, there is the 1.3 million square feet plot, and this is allow us Indian manufacturer of the machinery, electrical and electronics product, auto components, all these things that will be that will get the some destination. Okay, and yes, this product will be will get exposure to the market into the Iran, Central Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Here it has given. Okay. You should know that already we have the comprehensive economic partnership between the India and UAE. And yes, it's completed its first year, because in the 2003 we already completed this agreement into the 2022. So now we have entered into the second year. India's UAE trade that is growing with the 16% on an annual basis, and it has reached the $85 billion. And this UAE has become our third largest trade partner. UAE has become the second largest destination for our export, as well as UAE has become the fourth largest investor into the India. So please remember all these things. This is important. Okay. So this combination of this comprehensive economic partnership agreement and this Bharat Mart, this will complement and supplement each other. This will provide the strong impetus for the export from the India and manufactured goods of the India that will get the market. Market accessibility will there, and that's why our productivity will increase. It will enhance our foreign reserve, and we already know we also talking about the this rupees dirham system, so that we can do our transaction in each other currency, so it will reduce our dependency on the this dollars. Okay. Indian Institute, IIT Delhi, this Indian Institute of Technology, it has opened its campus into the Abu Dhabi, and it will provide the master program in energy transition and sustainability, because this is need of UAE, because that is mainly based on its economy is mainly based on the crude oil supply. So this will give a positive picture with respect to the environmental activity into the UAE. Okay. Okay, already we have seen that yes, it is the fourth highest source of the investment in India. We saw that Abu Dhabi Investment Authority will soon open in the Gift City, Gujarat. So already there is the other deal, 14 years of the deal with the Indian Oil Corporation to buy 1.2 million metric tons per annum of the liquefied natural gas. So LNG, that is the major convergence point between the UAE and India. It will provide the energy security for the India as well. Here in the last, it has provided that yes, it will also give solution to the global level issue. Already we know that there is the Houthi attack is increasing in the Red Sea. Gaza's, the attack on the Hamas by the Israel that can escalate. All in all this case, if there is the hike in the oil price across the world, then this personal coordination between the two countries and two leaders can help us to absorb such shocks. So this become very important. Whenever you have to conclude, you can conclude with this, that yes, such personal coordination as well as government to government coordination is very important. Whenever there is the external shock, we will have the personal understanding with each other. So whenever you are going to write, these are the points you can use with respect to India UAE relationship. This is very important. Next important news, that is with respect to the inflation, and RBI is still not going to reduce its interest rate, as we saw that there has been consistently this inflation in the particularly in the food consumption, food area is not controlled. That why we are not going to reduce that. And here it has given that Ravi showing this was 2.7% lesser than the previous year. If there is the lesser sowing, that's why there could be the less productivity, less produce, and in that case, if the source is the less, the demand will be same, then in the case, the rate will be high. Because if the source going to decrease, for example, if there is the 10 paints into the market, and if it is going to reduce to the 8, and the demand will remain the same, the price will increase because the people are there, the 20 people are there to buy. If the products reduces, the increases. So this is, you should know that yes, if the sowing is lesser, then the production will be lesser, and that's why there could be the hike into the price. You should know that this food basket has a largest component of this. Have the larger component of this consumer price index box. Okay. We have also seen that recently this farmer strike is going on. They are demanding for the MSPs, increase in MSPs and the stability and insurity in the MSP. If the MSP is insured, means they will get the higher price for their produce, and in that case, there will be the more selling by the farmers to the this produce to the government. So there could be the, if the price is going high, so inflation will be high. So this can also impact. So please remember, that's why RBI is very cautious to reduce the interest rate. So, but there is need to make the balance between the economic growth. If they will not reduce the interest rate, the industry will not take the loans, and that's why they will not invest into the their industry, and that's why there will be stagnation in economic activity. So there should be the balance. Price should not hike that much, as well as there should be the this economic activity also should be on the middle ground. So this is all about. Next important news that we will take is this with respect to the employment industrialization. So India is considered as it missed its industrialization, and it is known as the premature deindustrialization. Generally what happens means the agriculture sectors play major role into the economy. When there is the growth and development in the economy, the role of this agriculture sector reduces and the manufacturing sector increases. And after that, it's tech transition to the service sector. In the India case, after this agriculture sector, we make transition to the industrial sector, but without going to the peak of this industrialization sector. In between, we transit to the service sectors, and this manufacturing and industrial sector is considered for the potential for the creating the large number of the employment, because here we need lot of people for the manufacturing. In the service sector, the skill is important, not the labor force, but in the manufacturing, labor force is important with the a valued output. In the agriculture, large number of labor is needed, but the non-skilled and the output is not that much valuable. That's why for the bringing the quality life and living standard, industrialization is important. So in between, if it is make the transition, that's why the employment generation was marred. Okay. So now he is talking about this has created the case of the low employment in India. So one of the solution was proposed by our farmer governor of RBI, Raghuram Rajan, he talked about the high skill service driven growth is needed. But as per this writer, it is the manufacturing, sales and the employment that's matter, and 20% are during the dream run. That was the duration of the 2003 to 8. At this particular time, this manufacturing sector was running at a very high level, and this manufacturing sector provide the labor intensive industrialization, and this didn't alter this reality. Okay, so 1930 and 91, this economic reform was based on the labor intensive industrialization, but it was not achieved. In the between, we saw the premature deindustrialization. Okay. So why this high skilled service driven growth is not that much have the potential? Because here it is talking about that this service driven growth has some of the limitation. The first limitation is it couldn't absorb the labor existing agriculture in the same way that manufacture would have, because this service sector required a large highly skilled workforce, and that India could not adequately supply. We lack in that. Besides that, the relative wage of the workers with a college degree and without the college degree, there is the huge difference in the this service sector. This huge gap is not into the manufacturing sector, and even by the Gini index on this has given that yes, for this service sector the gap is for the 44 as compared to the 35 into the manufacturing. Means if there is the gap in the education level, the gap in salary is more in the service sector as compared to the manufacturing and industrial sector. Okay, so what is the issue with the India? The first is that the lack of mass education meant that important cultural prerequisite for the industrialization was missing. Besides that, foreign direct investment in India, which was supplied and it was considered that it will supposed to diffuse the technology, it didn't diffuse that level of the technology except in the few of the regional area. And India has looked down upon the certain occupation that provide the lot of employment, such as the electricity and welding and other such industry like the leather industry or the this textile apparel industry. All this has been ignored. This is the other region. So this is all about, you can use all this point whenever you are going to write your answer with respect to economic GS paper 3 and employment and unemployment issue. You can use all this thing. Next important news that we are going to cover with respect to this notification in the Tamil Nadu with respect to the this forest dweller. This is in the Thanthai Periyar Sanctuary. It is in the Erode district of the Tamil Nadu. The notification tells about that these forest dweller, they will be not going to get some of the accessibility to for their cattle. For example, this cattle grazers cannot be allowed to graze into this sanctuary. So you should know what is the how the this sanctuary and this national park are notified. This is under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 that gives power to notify this, and under sanctuary the people will have the right enjoy their natural light, but within this national park this all rights are prohibited. So this is more restrictive. National parks are more restrictive. Other thing you should know, this park, this Thanthai Periyar, this park is situated between the Karnataka's two Male Mahadeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary. Please remember that this Male Mahadeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, this is in the Karnataka, and the Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve, that is in the Tamil Nadu. So this is situated between these wildlife sanctuary and the tiger reserve. Okay, so what are the forest rights? The historical context is that whenever there is the rights that curbing and restricting the rights of tribal, we can trace it from the colonial power. When the Britishers were there, they brought many laws such as the Tamil Nadu Forest Act, Indian Forest Act, all these scope the rights of these people. Even after freedom, independence, we have seen we have seen improvement in the laws with respect to the right, but still it scope the rights of the tribal people. And under that, finally, in the Supreme Court judgment in the Goda Varman versus Union of India case, this Supreme Court says that declared that please you should take recognition of the historical injustice being done by done with the tribals, and please bring some laws that can end this injustice. And under that we brought this Forest Right Act, and yes, we give the authorities to the Gram Sabha to determine and recognize the forest right, so that we can reduce the exploitation and limitation. And yes, before that it was with the forest department. So please understand that this gives a lot of power to the this Gram Sabha. And previous, whatever the law was there, like the Wildlife Protection Act, all these, and Forest Right Act, they came under the this Forest Right Act 2006. So anything that violates in the previous law, if violates this new law, that become the null and void. So please remember all these things whenever you are going to write this Forest Right Act and rights of the tribal. So this is all about. We will conclude here. Please remember that there is the name of a particular uh, cattle that is mentioned. You should remember this Bargur cattle. Okay. I hope most of the area that has been relevant for the UPSC we have covered. Now here we will conclude this session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.